just last night, the homebrew launcher got released at midnight. Um, yeah, and I wanted to promise that I was like putting up some kind of review, and yeah, now we can start with it. To the actual point, this was released last night by the Switch Brew guys, and this is actually like the first emulator to work on the console, which was ported by a guy calling CPA. As you see, this is Final Burn Alpha and it's running full speed. Um, this is not RetroArch, this is a single port. And the main issue at the moment is that every single app has to be actually rewritten or reported to work with LibNX. Um, the good thing about LibNX is that we now have JIT support and some optimizations also that we can use the SD card. Another good thing about this homebrew is that we don't have that silly problems that we had with Pegaswitch and libtransistor, that the game was always crashing and the Switch was rebooting, and we can go back to the home menu. Now, one thing, once you launch the homebrew launcher over the SD card, you can go to the album and you can simply start a Nero all over again, and nothing will happen. So now technically you could start the Final Burn Alpha file, and it will search for the ROMs. Yeah, I have some issues to adding some ROMs here, so it's just a couple of them. In at the end, just one is working. Now you can turn that, it shows all, you turn it off, just turn up the working ones. Then you went back to the menu, and then you have to like Mortal Kombat 3, which is not loading, and WWF WrestleMania, which is working but bugged. So at the moment it's only Street Fighter Alpha 3. To show you the possibilities of the settings menu, once you go there, you can go to emulation, and here technically you could change the filter of the game, like in this case to point, to linear. Point is working, audio is not working for the moment. I will turn on the FPS count, so as you see, scaling is setting to full. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go out of this menu, and load the file again. So as you see, the ROM files are loading. As you guys see, the FPS counter is not showing up at the moment. It's because it's a very early build, and also not perfect at the moment, but I'm sure it will be in the future. So, but you see, the game runs full speed, so I'm sure you will be able to find the Nero for this. And only thing you have to do is actually start the emulation, insert the Neros inside the Nero folder, and inside the ROMs folder you insert the games. Yeah, and that's it. Then you can play. Once there is an update with RetroArch, I will upload another video. So now I request you to insert some coins. We're going to do that. Then the only thing you have to do is press start. In this case, select the character. Let's see. As you guys can see, wow, it works perfectly. And yeah, and last week we made a lot of progress here in this case about emulation and homebrew. Let's see what a couple of days brings. I'm sure once RetroArch is working, that we probably will see a PlayStation 1 emulator working. Slow, but it will work.